So it doesn't matter if you love or hate Among Us, you have to agree that the game has pretty much had its impact on the internet since it blew up. The rise and eventual downfall of Among Us is really interesting to look at, and also so is the cultural impact it had on the internet. So today we're going to be looking at Among Us 1 year later in this little mini commentary documentary. Now before we go any further, for those who need an intro, howdy, Synoptic here, welcome back to an all new video, and of course to everyone watching, all I can say is that grab yourself some popcorn, pour yourself a drink, fire up your bong, lay back, and enjoy. Now, with everything comes a start, and so when we have these analysis videos, we have to look at Among Us and its rise to truly understand it. For those of you who live under a rock or in the jungle and don't know what Among Us is, I consider you super lucky. Among Us is a small 10-player game where these little astronauts, also called crewmates, basically have to complete tasks and survive in space while there's one imposter trying to kill them all. It's a really small and simple game. The crewmates have to find out who the imposter is and find out who's, sus. Now, Among Us came out in 2018, but the game did blow up in 2020, so for 2 years, the game was just chilling with a steady player base. What can I say? At the time, it was just a small little mobile game. I don't think anybody would have thought it was the craziest thing ever. If you ran into the game when it was released, you might ask yourself, dude, would people actually ever play this? And oh boy, would you be wrong, because just 2 years later, hundreds of thousands of people would be interested in the game. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Among Us, but I was wondering, how did this game really pop off? Because, we can all say that the game blew up, but did we ever truly look at why it blew up? Now, to answer this question, there's actually a few factors of why the game became really popular. So Among Us had kind of used the same formula that Fortnite and Fall Guys had. The trick is basically when the gaming environment on the internet is dry and games are just boring and repetitive, a new game has to come out that's a little different. Now, Among Us didn't come out in 2020, but the game was unique to the gaming environment. There weren't that many games popular like Among Us. And the second aspect to a game blowing up is Twitch views. Like, when people see big streamers playing a game on Twitch, they're gonna want to play it themselves. For game developers, Twitch is literally free advertising. Like, when big streamers play your game, it's gonna get people interested. Now, as simple as all of this sounds, Among Us didn't actually blow up as quickly in a day. It wasn't an overnight sensation. It took a few streamers and a few weeks to grow and get to the top. Now, going back to talking about how unique Among Us was, I just want to drop a disclaimer. Among Us wasn't the first game with an imposter. It's a copy of the game Mafia, which people actually play in real life, and Among Us style games have been out for years. Among Us didn't create the genre with imposters and stuff. They just made their own twist on it. So I'm not trying to see anybody in the comments crying saying that Among Us wasn't the first game and that there were games before it. I'm pretty sure we all know that. The thing is, Among Us just had something else. That cute little space astronaut theme was really fun to play as. It was nice, it was vivid, colorful, but also at the same time not too bright like its competitor Fall Guys. Fall Guys was literally the definition of a kid's game, like with how bright the colors were, but when you looked at Among Us, you could look at it and just say, is that like another platformer game or something? And of course, not that many games were popping. It's always the same cycle, there's Call of Duty, Battlefield, blah blah blah. So when Among Us got popular, it was something fresh and people low-key started playing it. The Twitch streaming thing that I mentioned before, it started with multiple streamers. There were a lot of smaller streamers playing the game for like a year or two with a couple thousand viewers, but it was truly in the late summer when Sodapoppin and XQC started playing the game that the numbers absolutely skyrocketed. Like, when September came and you look at the chart, it's just crazy, dude. So when people started seeing streamers play, they thought the game was interesting, and the game started gaining more and more traction. You'd see people making memes about it. You'd see people saying, who wants to play Among Us with me online? And the cool thing about Among Us was that you could play it on your PC or you could play it on your phone. The fact that you didn't need like a couple $100 gaming console to play the game was really helpful for a lot of people who were like mobile gamers. And guys, we can sit here talking for hours about how Among Us came to the top, but once something is at the top, it's gotta drop. I've said that for Fall Guys, and I will say it again. Nothing is at the top forever. Now, the fall of Among Us didn't kill the game, but it did kind of make the player base slowly die. And once again, I'm not trying to have any of you guys cry in the comments. I am not currently saying that Among Us is dead or dying. I'm just saying that it kind of fell off. The thing with Among Us was that you could play a good few matches with friends and have some fun, but you'd eventually get bored because the game doesn't have much to offer. At the time in September, it only had 3 maps, and the developers did say that they're dropping a new update soon, but that new update didn't come till later in 2021. It was around March that an airship map was added, and that was almost half a year later. So the lack of content really got people to get bored of Among Us, and in my opinion, this is primarily the developers' fault because these devs, even though there were only 3 of them, when Among Us got super popular, they had so much money coming in. I don't understand why more people weren't hired. Like, I understand it's an indie game studio, but low-key hire some temps, maybe roll out a new update quickly. Basically, if the Among Us devs were a little faster, the game would have gotten more popular for a good while. Apparently, the developers stopped working on an Among Us sequel to keep on working on the game, but then again, it's just 3 developers and Rome wasn't built in a day. Now, according to Steam charts, as of July of 2021, Among Us had about 10 to 20,000 players in-game on Steam. That may be a lot, and I don't know how many people are still playing Among Us on, mobile and stuff. I guarantee you it's more than that, but the game isn't talked about in a serious way anymore. Now, when I say Among Us isn't talked about seriously, it basically relates to the next part because Among Us just became a meme. And of course, memes can definitely save a game, but with Among Us, the situation was definitely really wacky. So yeah guys, when I was talking about the cultural and internet impact of Among Us, I was basically talking about the memes that it left behind. And like I said before, memes can bring traction to a game, but with Among Us, it just made the game a joke where people didn't want to play it at all. They were low-key tired of it. The sus meme got really popular in about November to December, and a lot of people were saying it, sus became something a lot of people associated with Among Us. And after that meme got old, there was another meme where like garbage cans and every small little object looked like Among Us, so people were really tired about that. But then the memes got to the point where you couldn't even say the word Among or Us without people saying Among Us, sussy, sussy, sussy. And you can't forget the sussy baka memes, bro. I don't even know why those were popular. Those were definitely the most cringiest ones. So that attention that Among Us got through memes made people hate the game more and more. They were just like, dude, when are the memes finally gonna stop? And it is September of 2021, and the Among Us memes haven't stopped, guys. Like, I'm still scrolling through Instagram or Twitter, and every once in a while, I'll find somebody dropping an Among Us meme. So of course, 1 year later, Among Us has had a big impact on the internet. The game isn't going anywhere anytime soon, even though it fell from popularity, there's still an active fan base. People still have Among Us poppets and stuff, so the game is still popular with the younger generation. But if you guys are trying to escape from the Among Us cringe on the internet, that playlist that just popped up on your screen has all my newest commentary videos like this one. But yeah, it's been Synoptic, and I'll see you all in the next one.